an apology to family and friends of Territorians who could find themselves quarantining here if they don't cancel any travel plans from Sydney.
You'll have to wait a little bit longer. It does suck, but it is the way it is, and it's how it has to be.
Joining Victoria, most of Greater Sydney is now a coronavirus hotspot, as far as the Northern Territory is concerned. The hotspot declaration includes 31 local council areas covering metropolitan Sydney and also some fringe areas like the Blue Mountains, a late addition to the list.
That means that from Friday, if there are any arrivals to the Territory from Sydney or who have been in Sydney in the previous 14 days, they will be directed into mandatory supervised quarantine at Howe Springs and charged $2,500.
Some are wondering why the Wallandilly Council area, including the town of Picton, isn't on the list, given a Picton pub was recently closed after a person with coronavirus visited it several times. The government says hotspot decisions are based on the level and threat of community transmission. And as Friday approaches, when the NT opens up to other interstate visitors, Territorians are being assured there'll be an indefinite police presence at borders and airports.
They will stay there to monitor and interview arrivals, direct them to quarantine where necessary, and stop any wannabe rule breakers.
In the past 2 days, police say they've handed out 6 fines to rule breakers, and that ongoing reckless disregard for quarantine could undo the NT's hard work, with one person being all it takes. The message about personal responsibility is becoming louder.
There's very few places in the world that actually remain COVID-free. We'd like to keep it that way. The lives lost, the harm done, the mass burials that you see in other places, it's catastrophic. I don't want this to happen to Territorians.
And don't be afraid to call people out.
And if you look around you and you see somebody who's too close, somebody who's been standing there for a while, people who you don't know, then give them a reminder. It can be a gentle reminder or a firm reminder that this is not all right.
The Sydney hotspot declarations will be reviewed in 2 weeks. Felicity James, ABC News.